All right, welcome everybody. The advisors that are here, as always, if you can help watch the chat box too, because sometimes when I'm presenting, I don't see the things that are coming through there, and answer things but also let me know if I need to stop and go over something more clearly. We really just have a few little changes from where we were at. And some of you, oops, there's Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Some of you I see have already figured that out because you've already submitted senior comments. I know Jess has. Sunshine, I think you got that in. So that's great. That is the main difference I want to share with you. So I'm going to share with my screen with you, and we're just going to kind of go over a couple of changes from the last time I talked to you, kind of the big picture again. And then I want to remind you all that Friday is our senior walkthrough. So if we were all together, we would be a day we'd spend together as seniors. Hopefully you all got your 4 agreements book with your caps and gowns. Yeah. And you got your banners, I hope. Everybody has their things. So Sierra and Laura will be doing the 4 agreements with you on Friday. And Annalise will be doing a live walkthrough. Normally, right, we all would walk together in practice, so she'll do that with you. So that'll give you guys all a little more personal. And Jess, that's at noon, and we'll record it too. So if you're working, you can't be there, it'll be recorded, all right? So don't worry, we'd love to have you because we love to have your presence for the 4 agreements because that's kind of a tradition we have of going through that together with the seniors. But right now, I just want to give you a little more of the big picture view so that everybody's clear about that again. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you now. And I think, as most of you know, I've been trying to keep all of these things both on Facebook and on our website. So those are usually places, even these links. The link to this recording meeting I'll put on our events page, which is the closed group, rather than the open one that's out front, but you guys can go watch that. But I will put it on our website too, okay? Some of you joined, and I appreciate that. I set up a kind of group reminder because that way I can send you any reminders the next couple of weeks as a whole group. But I'm also going to use this to be able to text you your number when you're driving up for graduation. So there'll be a few ways, Does someone have, hello? Okay. So up here, you'll see, if you send a text, this is the number you put in, 81010. And if you text this message, AEECD2H, then I will have your cell phone as group. And there'll be a few ways you'll know which number you have. Hang on just a minute. Let me fix that down. We can all hear.
Gabby, you need to mute yourself.
Okay. So we'll, if you want to join that way, there's also a link you can join through, but I will also be sending you your number through a text that way. You have your number you got with your caps and gowns, and we will have a little display down where people are getting their diplomas that will also have the number, like a flip chart. Okay, so there'll be a few different ways you'll be able to see what number we're on for getting your diploma, but for you to be able to get a text message is probably a great way. So if you want to join this group, not required to, but if you want that it'll ease, just text this to this number, this message. Here's in Espanol. All right, Janelli, en Espanol, aquí. All right. So again, we're going to start very promptly at 10 a.m. So you don't really, 9:30, be plenty of time to be there because I haven't changed yet, Jess. You should be fine to come in there because unlike when we're there in person together, everybody has to kind of adjust their grounds and stuff. You'll just need to park. So you probably won't have a lot of setup time, if that makes sense. And we'll be having Taz and Dave, your bus drivers there to help direct that. Okay, here we go, Jess. Most of you have seen this slide before. Okay, again, it's on the website. This is just a reminder of all the steps of things as we get to graduation, okay? So here we are, this is the update. When you saw this before, it was our original. Everything that's red is a hyperlink. So this hyperlinks to this meeting right now, but when we're done, it will hyperlink to the recording. This is the hyperlink to the school store if you haven't paid for your gown. You remember you can go and you can pay for that online, right? Most of you have paid, that's great. We don't want to have to hold any diplomas, so please, if you haven't paid yet, please go do that. Marta will check in with you, and if there's a struggle with that or something's going on, please contact Marta. That's fine, we're happy to do payment plans and things. But it's just one of the costs. The cap and gown cost is one of the things we aren't able to cover, unfortunately. But we do want you all to be able to keep your cap and gown. So that's why we do it that way, right? Right here, most of you have done the beginnings of these things. Most of you are here right now, right? You're readying and preparing for your e-portfolio presentations. Those are really important, and make sure you are inviting a family member too as you sign up. That is a thing that you are supposed to have your family and friends part of when you do your e-portfolio presentation. Okay, this is what I was talking about, the Friday meet, and I forgot to put noon on there. Sorry about that, Jess, I'll add that. This is the link, the room you'll go into just like this, but a different one to that meeting, okay? So that's just a reminder, Friday. That is for the senior class. It is like a class time together. And you guys get actually interact with each other. We'll split up into rooms after Annalise does the walkthrough with you. So it's kind of your, one of the last times we get to be together in class as a senior group together. So please try to come if you can. We understand if you can't. Here's the biggest change, right? Originally, I'd hoped we'd have some kind of mic that you could walk up to and speak into, but it's really one that I now have a call from the public health nurse checking in with me, but it's just not something we can do because they're a big transmission item. If somebody accidentally sneezes or coughs on it and then touches it. Some of you might remember way back when this all started, there was a basketball player who kind of was making a joke about all that at one of his meetings and touched the mics, and all of a sudden he had it a week later. So we can't really have the mic set up with so many different seniors coming up to it. So what you need to do is submit your senior comment or quote. It's what you would want said. So you could say a thank you. You could say a thank you and a quote, whatever you would like to have said. And when you walk up to get your diploma, along with your name being called, a member of the wellness team, so it'll either be April, Donna, Laura, or Emma will read your name and read your quote. There's the main way people are going to be watching, Geneva, there's like 61. So the main way, people will be listening is through Facebook. So you still could say something if you want to. It just won't be on a mic. So really the people who would hear you are your advisors, your parent who's waiting in the car could probably hear you too. But that's the main piece. So this is linked here. Most of you also have links to that in your Google Classrooms through advisory. I did also already put this link on the FaceGrip, the closed book page. But again, it's just a form that most of you are used to filling out. You're just going to go in and you're going to tell us, what you want, how you want it read, and then after you fill that out, right? Here's just more information about joining the group. And it's going to ask you to say what you want to say, okay? And then there's one last thing. I added this, Sunshine, since you were in. So if you want to go back and add this, you can. In our program, I'm having kind of a time capsule in the electronic graduation program. So I wanted to get your input into what you think. This is not just for you, this part. This is for the entire class. What do you think would be a great song that represents the entire class of 2020 and a quote? So there's a part that's your individual, but this is for everybody. So do feel free if you didn't add that, if you have ideas. You don't have to fill it out if you don't want, but it's in there. I know Misty also put a thing out on Facebook page trying to get your ideas about that. Okay, let me just pause before we go on and see if anybody has questions about the senior comments. And if you do, you can unmute and ask them or put them in the chat box.
Bentley wants to know if it can be any song.
Yeah, Bentley, what I'm going to do is collect what shows up in there. Hi, Zach. I'm going to collect what shows up in your guys' recommendations. And if there's an obvious one that shows up over and over again, we'll know to choose it. If not, then we might have to put out maybe some of the top ones that got listed a poll. Okay. Oh, Jono. Okay, Jono's sharing the form too. Hey, Carla. Anybody else? Questions about the senior comments? I'll give you just a little bit before I move on, because I know technology sometimes slows us down. Okay. You can ask more about it later too if you want. Okay, now we're going to just move on a little bit more to what this drive-through looks like. Again, some of you have seen in rifles, so now we've seen some ideas. Please decorate your cars if you like, all of those kinds of things. We will have a best prize for the best car decoration. We'll have the advisors take a little vote on that. Well, actually, I'll put it out to all of you. We'll get it from everybody and see what we get, okay? All right, this page I put in with your caps and gowns. It's again just saying these two changes. The one is the senior comments, and the other is we're going to use more of a live stream to get if you're a viewer. So the parking lot area that you'll be in, you'll be able to see what's going on, but you won't be necessarily, it's not like, it's, you know, the area is big, so it's not like you'll be able to watch it the way you would watch if you were sitting in an audience in a theater. So the best way probably is if you're hanging out and having a good time with people in your car, and you can pull it up on Facebook. Experience for most of you is going to be when you're actually getting your diploma with your advisor and with who's ever in your car with you, and the kind of experience right at the moment for yourself. One of the great things about this graduation, and there's a lot of things I like about your graduation. I think it's one of the coolest one in the 22 years I've been here doing these. But you will also have a recording of this. So we're going to live stream it onto Facebook. So any of your family and friends, anywhere they are on Facebook, that'll be on our open Yampa Mountain High School page. And I'll put information about that. But they can watch that way. If they're parked somewhere, they're going to meet you later, they can do that, okay? But then it'll also drop into a recording, and both on Facebook and YouTube. So you'll have a recording of this whole thing. And for the ones, you know, we'll have a stream going down right by where the people are, where your classmates are all getting their diplomas. So if you can't see all of it, you'll be able to go back and watch all of that. The main thing you want to be doing is enjoying your time with your family and friends in your car, which is kind of neat. We don't usually get to do that at graduation. You don't usually get to bring your family and friends right with you to get your diploma. So I think there's some kind of cool things about this. But we also want to make sure that we're being really thoughtful about all the diverse people that are going to be in vehicles. So we've got both students and staff who are part of vulnerable populations because of medical. We have very tiny infants and little children in vehicles. We will certainly have elderly people. So we need to just be really thoughtful about that. That's why if you are in an open vehicle, like a truck or a convertible, you'll need to go to the top so you can park further apart, because the parking spaces are like a line apart from each other, right? They're right next to each other. Either way, you know, the lower ones, you will be able to see what's going on better, but either way, you can watch the stream. That makes sense, okay? I do not know, you know, I will just tell you, like, you know, Glenwood is stricter with their rules on the gathering sizes and the social distancing. You know, there is a requirement to have a face mask on when you're in public spaces outside. So just know that they may have a much, and like sitting in the back of trucks, you know, they could I can't control if they would want to fine how you were either in your vehicle or driving in your parking area, okay? That's the parking area. So I'm just giving that warning out because that, you know, that part is part of the city of Glenwood Springs. They've given us a special use permit to be like in that area and kind of have parts of it closed off. But we don't get to do whatever we want to do. We still have to follow their rules. And like I said to you, I do have the public health nurse who wants to talk to me. She hasn't called me back. So if there's some changes of things she said, we have to follow, we'll just have to follow that. But regardless, I can tell you guys, I think this is going to be a really fun graduation. I mean, how often do you get at graduation, hang out with your family and friends, have a recording of it, and really get to just not maybe feel as nervous. Sometimes when everybody's sitting in a row on the bleachers, you can hardly see somebody or those kinds of things. So I think this is kind of, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for all of us. This is available, this slide in Spanish later in the slideshow too, and in the ones you got in your caps and gowns. There you go. This is sort of a map. I know it's a little, you know, it's a little bit blurry for you guys to see, but kind of gives you an idea. So this area will be where you're parking until it's time to go get your diploma. It's just one car per graduate in here. So that's because that's still like 60 some cars just with your graduates. There is a lower parking lot, as most of you know. There, you know, people could be parked down there and stream if they want to wait for you after the parade, but it's not really visible. It's not like it's visible to what's going on here. So that's really up to you, this part over here, okay? You will be admitted in here by having your number. And of course, cap and gown makes it pretty obvious that you're to be in these parking areas. Any questions about the parking?
So we can just park wherever we want, like up where you're parking.
Yeah, so like Taz and Dave will be there if you're in a closed vehicle. Is my mouse showing for you all?
No.
Okay.
It's really small-y, so it's hard to see your mouse.
It's really small.
The mouse is really small, yeah, so it's hard to see
the
it.
mouse is really small. Okay. Well, this first part that says senior parking, the first three purple, if you're in a closed vehicle, by first come, first serve, you'll be directed down there. There's a lot of spots down there, right? Like that will hold quite a few. The next round, or if you just want to be up here, I mean, you can certainly choose to be up here if you want to. But if you're in an open vehicle, you'll be directed up here because you're going to need to park not right next to each other, if that makes sense. You'll have to, you know, open vehicles will have to take spots at least 6 feet away from the other. So it's not right to be taking up the spots up here up close. So if you're in an open vehicle, you're just going to have to space yourselves out. That makes sense. And any over, you know, that's later. Like I said, you're mostly, this is a parking thing where you're going to be enjoying yourself and watching the stream. So, you know, it's not a huge rush. Don't feel bad. If for some reason you run late and you're up here, your experience, every advisee's experience, every graduate's experience is still going to be the same when you come down to get your diploma. You're still going to be part of the stream the same way. The only thing that's different is your parking spot. So, you know, you don't have to get super stressed out about it. You know, it's not the biggest deal. There's trees and stuff around here. So it's not like from everywhere you can see even super great. Even on some of these, you can see these trees. So just know that you'll be able to see the stream, but for all of you, no matter where you're parked, when you come down to get your diploma and this experience and what the stream will be picking up, all of you will have that same experience, okay? So let me explain to you more what that part will look like. I'm just gonna take a little check on the chat box here. Okay, so after you're parked, you know, you all know your number now, so you have a little bit of sense of when you're gonna end up driving down. We will make sure, you know, if somebody gets a little out of order, it's okay, we'll figure it out. But there'll be then, at the beginning, there will be a keynote. You probably won't hear that in your parking area other than if you're watching it on the stream, but it will be there in there for you in the recording and the processional song when you have your graduation video at the end. Then I will be announcing the first two, number 1 and 2, and it's each in order. If you noticed, you're in order by alphabet by your advisory, okay? So we will call the first two, and they will bring their cars down to this first green arrow where it says senior lineup towards the bottom of the map. And for a few advisories, there's 10 or so graduates, so those ones might be backed up a little bit. Don't worry, if you're in this line and your number 30 is in front of you and you're 28, just when we get, you guys could drive around each other when you see, if you just got pulled down here, when you're coming around here. And if one of you gets one off from the other, it's okay. We can adjust when you go to get your diploma. This isn't something you have to be spending a lot of time worrying about. You just get to enjoy. This is your day of celebration. You'll then, one car will come and there'll be like a stop. Dave or Taz will be there and they'll be stopping you, and that's kind of the waiting spot for the person that'll be going. And then they will wave them on, and the senior that's graduating will stop right about here. I know, I'm sorry you can't see the mouse very well. But we will do a live walkthrough with Annalise on Friday. They're gonna get out. This is a sidewalk area. If a parent or a friend is driving you, they can just stop the car and you can get out and walk. If you happen to be driving yourself, that's fine. You can just stop your car and park it because nobody else is using this area than us. And you'll get out and there'll be an X on the ground for you to stand. And from that moment, you'll hear your name and your senior comment. Then your advisor will have their accolades for you. And then there'll be a table that I'll have put out your diploma for you to pick up. You know, they're all gonna be in bags that have been cleaned, and I'll clean the table between each time. I'll be doing that while you're having your advisor and your quote read. And then you'll come over and I'll have you turn your tassel and you can then walk back here. So remember, all of this is being live streamed that you'll have forever. There is a little bit of space right here before the diploma table if your parent wanted to take a picture from there. Again, that's better than you usually get in a normal graduation, but there is a little bit of space. We have to all, right, remain our social distancing from each other. So just know that.
Can you talk to me?
No, I thought you were still in the shower.
Hang on just a minute. Let me get that. Okay, I think she got it. So what it's all set up so you're social distance and it's a small gathering here, okay? It's important we don't have tons of people get out and about because the people that are here, there's a person who has to run the sound and the live stream and your advisors, and they're gonna be switching out so that we're following the rules that Glenwood makes us follow, okay? We probably will set some speakers at around, but it's not like, this is very large. This is a very large area, way larger than like at the Glenwood Springs, you know, over at the Music in the Park. So really the best way to watch when it's not your turn is on the live stream. Or just to kind of watch it ahead and then enjoy your part, just like however you want. When you're done, you'll walk back to your car, then you'll just drive out around. And you have two choices. If you are done and you want to leave, that's your choice. Some people might have, you know, an elderly person in the car or a baby who it's just hard to be in the vehicle. That's okay. But what we'd like to encourage you to do is to come back and park. And at the end, when everybody's received their diploma, we all leave together, drive down Midland, past Yampa, and downtown. So that will be a lot of fun. We can make a lot of noise about that. It'd be great. But it's not required of you if for some reason it's just not comfortable for you to be staying parked that long. I'm going to guess this ends up taking, usually our graduation takes a couple hours, and it'll probably come close to that. I bet it'll be about an hour and 45 minutes, something like that, for everybody to come through and get their personal you know, piece here to pick up their diploma. So that's in a nutshell. If it is bad weather, we will be doing something similar, but then you'll be kind of just staying in your car. So these might be turned around a little bit so that your advisor could talk to you. So we have had at times at our graduation snow. We've had snow a couple times, hard to believe right now. But if that happens, there'll be some adjustments so that you stay in your vehicle. Okay? So we'll still do something similar. Any questions right now? I think it will help you too when we do the live walkthrough. What do we got? Feel free to turn your mic on or to put something in the chat.
You said the live walkthrough Friday.
Say that again.
What is the walkthrough?
Noon on Friday, and that's also the 4 agreements activity we do together.
Okay.
Okay. So there'll be a link. You'll have a link to come into. Yeah, senior appreciation, as Misty called it. Bree, Sunny, the parking is really first come, first serve. You know, the event is really down below. You guys are gonna have to make some choices about that. Just like we do at graduation for seating, it's kind of whoever comes first serve. I wanted you to be next to your friends if you wanted to be.
Yeah, that's one.
You don't have to be, you know, it's up to you. But that's up to you where you want to be. Like I said, there is quite a bit of spots down here. And we're not in a rush waiting for you to come for your numbers, right? You guys have been at this for at least 13 years, so let's just take our time and celebrate each of you. How about advisors? Anything that I've missed? Anything that we need to add in that you've seen come up?
I have a question.
Okay.
When are you guys gonna hand out the links for the stream? if you know.
It will be, it will, our Facebook page, not the
Oh,
event
okay.
one, that's the closed group. But
So they have to join the group first, right?
no, the stream's gonna be on our open Yampa Mountain High School Facebook page. Let me
Oh,
add the link.
okay. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
so that way any family members can be in it. Let me I'll put the link in the chat box here for those of you who
Thank
haven't. Yeah. So it'll just be live streaming on the open page.
Okay.
That way, anybody who wants to watch, people in another country could watch if they wanted to. Okay. Even if it fails, I will tell you this, right? We all know with technology, there's potential for technology to fail. And if that happens, we'll still have the great experience. We'll still be recording, and there still will be a full recording of all of this, no matter what. So if for some reason, Matt, who's an alumni and does all our technology, is working really hard. We're all meeting tomorrow to make sure there's good streaming. But if something fails with that, because we can't control all of that, it will still be a recording, if nothing else. But hopefully that all goes well. No, just like any graduation, sometimes there's things we can't control. Good question, though. I'm glad you brought that up. So you can let your family know they just need to go to our regular Facebook page. Let me just show you real quick. This one. Whoops. I don't know. I don't know how to look at it the way, because since I run it, it looks a little different. But it'll just, when you live stream, it comes up in a post. If any of you have seen that, when somebody is posting and they're live streaming, it just comes up into that section as running while they're live. And then when they're done, it becomes recording. Okay?
Lee. So like I had friends that were at the Coleridge graduation. They would like do an event or like a live stream, and they made it as you could set a reminder, and it reminded us 2 minutes before it started.
Was it on Facebook?
Yeah, it was on Facebook.
Okay.
Like I'm sure.
Well, and all of you that are doing that, joining that remind, link, I can send things out on that too. And you're going to remember getting your numbers as a reminder that through that also. If you don't use it, it's okay. There'll be other ways to know, but that's a good suggestion. Thank you. Check that out. Anybody else?
Lee, there's a comment in Spanish, but I don't know what it's asking.
I think it's about, hang on, my thing's in the way. Something about their car.
From Eric Flores.
Carla's responding, I think. Carla, are you helping with that one? Hang on. Kayla, yeah. Kayla, could you see that? What Eric was asking? And Abel's responding. I think they're just commenting. Any other questions or advisors, things we need to bring out, or things you want to bring up while we've got this big group here about Friday or e-portfolios next week, since we've got a nice big group here right now?
Lee, I was wondering if we had rotations for the advisors as they're coming down. I know you said we were starting off with like Sally and things like that, but we weren't sure if there was an actual rotation yet or not.
There is. You'll have that in your program when I go over with you. The students all have their numbers already.
Perfect. So
They have a pretty good idea.
Okay.
That makes sense. Other questions?
Max, as far as how long it will take, because it's a new graduation experience for us, we don't know exactly how long it's going to take. Long enough so that each person can be honored in the way that you deserve to be honored.
Our typical graduation goes from 10 to 12. I think it's going to be similar because we've got a little added time of having to have cars drive down and wait for that. But we always have these different aspects. There's a little space right with, you know, we can't have everybody running down and take pictures. Know that the whole video is going, but with the car that's stopped there, there'll be a little bit of space. I'm gonna have a cone there where if a parent wants to get out and take a picture that's near the diploma table, they'll be able to. It'll be a little off to the side, but because the video camera is gonna be set up right front, right, for the best angle.
What's that?
Who is that with a great face mask on? It's tiny.
Jessica Lee.
Oh, Jess, are you delivering? You got special Domino's ones, huh?
I've been reintroducing myself to the Mighty Giants. Are you familiar with them as a band?
Misty wants to know, question if parents can get out to take pictures.
Yeah, Jess answered that. Did you hear that?
Oh, no, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm doing something else.
You all need to have a face mask with you because it is Glenwood Springs. You can just mute. I got it.
They've actually written a lot of educational songs for kids, like about 9.
Okay. You students are much more used to getting on these meets, knowing how to mute things. Sorry, ask me the question, Annalise. You had another question, right?
No, it was just about whether parents could get out and take pictures, and then got out if they had to have face masks on. But I think
the face mask
in the chat.
It was just about the face mask. There'll be a cone where you can't have 5 people get out because then we're over, we're way over the limit. So one person wants to get out, there'll be a little cone kind of there near where there's parking where they could stand. Face mask, Jess, so you guys, thank you. That was it though. That helped me remember what the question was. It is Glenwood. So the law in Glenwood is face masks or the ordinance, I should say, until June 4th. When you are in your vehicle is acting as that barrier. So you're going to be okay unless you decide you want to sit next to somebody who isn't somebody that haven't been living with and social distance through. So like if you need to get out and go use the porta potty, you'll want to put it on then. If you're sitting in your car, you don't need to wear it. Okay. When you walk out to get your diploma, you may have it off. That's why we're not going to have the mic or anything, because you will be further than 6 feet from anybody. Okay, does that make sense? So you'll be far enough that way you can have your picture. But if you want to take it with you and get one picture with it and one picture without it, that'd be fun too, because kind of a fun, I don't know if fun's the right word, but an unusual memory to have, right? So, but be sure to have them. I sent one to each of you with your cap and gown. So everybody should have one. I know they're a little short. You might need to add a little ties to them if you want to use those ones. Otherwise, I know a lot of you have others. But do know that Glenwood does have, some stricter ordinances than some other places. So, especially if you're going to go out anywhere afterwards around Glenwood. Any other questions? Good questions so far. Come in a bubble suit, as John said. I think wouldn't it be great if we all had like giant gerbil balls? We could just walk around in them.
Seriously, it's like that movie Bubble Boy.
Yeah. That's what we need. Yeah, so Sunshine, you can have it off while you're taking your picture, while you're standing there getting your diploma, because you're gonna be social distance from the advisors and the counselors and me. And after you pick up your diploma, it's going to be on a table that I am going to sanitize down before I put the next diploma down. I'll have gloves with the bags that I've put the diplomas in, so they're all clean. And I'll clean off that table in between, okay? But it's a good question because, we want to have fun and we want to be safe. We've been all doing a great job so far, so let's just keep that up. If there aren't other questions, I do want to say that having spent time working on the program and putting your caps and gowns together and seeing each of your names over and over again, this is a really special class. And I think this is going to be a really special, awesome graduation too. But this particular class of graduates, and you know, a lot of us, I know Rick and I, this is 22 years of graduations. There's a lot of students, a lot of you have been here a long time. We've done a lot together, this group. It's been a really fun class, 2020. And, you know, I really enjoy looking back because, boy, for some of us, we've had ups and downs, but it's all ended up good in the end, hasn't it? And I'm just so proud of this class. I'm so excited about the class of 2020. I just think it's a really special class. So thank you all. Let's remember all the memories. Let's make one other fun memory, but make it from that kind of big loving place we come at Yampa, that we're thinking about our own needs, but also people who might be around us who have different sorts of needs. Because remember, some people might be the vulnerable population, some won't, but we can all have fun together. We've done that many times. We've done a lot of fun things together and been thoughtful to all the differences that are there. So let's just keep that going. That's the Yampa way. Anything else?
Lee, Ashley asked if we were going to do another kind of like physical graduation later on when the virus is over. And I thought that you should probably address that. Maybe a reunion at some point.
This is the class of 2020 graduation. Lots of people will be off in different places and things later. And we don't expect there to be a vaccine, right, until maybe spring next year. So there's the unfortunate thing, right, is if anything, we might end up back into the season as the year goes, where it's more the seasons where it's easier to pass viruses around than it is right now. So we want to do this now because actually this is probably the best time to get us all together. And unfortunately, you know, when we probably all started thinking about this 2 months ago, it was unthinkable, the amount of time that's gone by. I mean, when I said, oh, we're closing a week early, I certainly thought we were all going to be back after spring break. And right, we don't even know what school's going to look like for the students that are returning next year. So that's kind of what's up with that. There's just so much going on, but we're going to make this really fun. I think this is going to be really special. I can tell you there's some game-changing things from this graduation that we're going to keep. I mean, some of the parts we're doing, we're going to just do because there's going to be this class, there's some kind of groundbreaking things that's pushing us to think outside our normal bubbles and limits, right? And there's some things that are pretty neat about what's going to happen, just about the individual experience. Of course, we always hope we could all just like be having this meeting right now together and talking about it, but it's going to be a really great celebration. But thank you for asking that, Ashley. And then a reunion is an awesome idea. And we could use the school for that or a location. That would be very fun. It'd be fun to have an entire just Yampa reunion, period, with everyone. You'd have extended family. And Jono would be at it. All right. All right. Well, thank you all. Please try to come to the class time for the seniors. And if not, I will see some of you at ePortfolio presentations with the ones I can make it to. And good luck with all of those. And I will see you all on Friday of graduation day. Bye-bye.
Deuces.
Peace out.
Bye.